A few videos back, I reviewed a very compact 20-inch soundbar from a company called DiePlay. It was very slim and it had a good purpose for people that needed to amplify their audio volume of their TV beyond what their speakers could do. But there were a few things that I would have liked to change about it. And lo and behold, a few weeks later, this shows up. This is the Evatronic 31-inch 2.0 stereo 50-watt soundbar. It's a lot. I don't have a model number on it, but this fixes a lot of the things that I would have liked to see change in that previous mini 20-inch soundbar from DiePlay. And today in this video, I'm gonna unbox it, tell you all of the things that come in the package, show you how it works, give you a quick sound demo, and then let you know whether or not I think it's worth picking up and who it's good for. Now, if you're new here, thank you for joining me. My name is Jordan. This is the Phase Reviews YouTube channel. If you're a subscriber, welcome back as always. Now, before we dive into this, if you're not, I would love to have you become a subscriber of the channel. It helps me grow, so go ahead, ring the notification bell, but we won't waste any more time with that. Let's take a look at this Evatronic stereo soundbar. Okay, so first things first on this channel, we're gonna dive right in with the packaging. It's got a image of the soundbar right here. You can see the design, and we're gonna talk about that more in a minute. Like I said, I don't know what the model number is, but I'll include a link down below. It's got a few specs here, 50 watts, 2 channels, 4 different drivers inside. On the side, it says this is Paris, born in Paris, 1915. I don't know if I believe that, but we'll just take their word for right now. But there's really no other specs or anything on the box. This is how it arrives to you, well packaged from Amazon. But let's open it up and show you what is inside. Now, on this side, there's some foam that holds the soundbar in, but you do get a power block, and this is an interesting choice. We've got this really large AC to DC wall wart. It's like a laptop charger. It's extremely big. You can maybe replace this with something smaller, but that's gonna be your power source right there. If we remove the foam that was sitting in, we can pull out the soundbar itself. We're gonna take a look at that in just a moment. And then also inside of here is the little accessory bag, which I wanted to show you. Now, most of the accessories that come with these budget soundbars under 50 bucks are gonna be pretty similar. You're gonna get an aux cable like this if you wanna plug in your phone or some device that has an aux 3.5 millimeter output. You're gonna get a very, very basic, cheap optical cable, or Toslink, I believe is the other name for it. And then you're gonna get a remote. And pretty much all of these remotes look identical to each other and function very similarly, minus 1 or 2 buttons. You're gonna get a power, a mute, and an EQ button, usually to go between game, movie, and music modes, which have slightly different sounds. You're gonna get a plus or minus, as well as a forward and back, like a D-pad with a play and pause in the middle. And then you've got your different inputs, all with a dedicated button there at the bottom. Those inputs are gonna be USB, optical, line in, Bluetooth, and most importantly for me, HDMI ARC, which, if you don't know, allows the soundbar to communicate with the TV via one HDMI cable and take the sound from all of your different inputs and send it to the soundbar, which is very nice. You can also, if it has it's not ARC, what is it called? CEC, Consumer Electronics Control functionality. You can control the soundbar with your TV remote, so you don't need to use multiple remotes. Okay, so that's all the accessories. Now this is the soundbar itself. You can see it's similar in form factor to the 20-inch DiePlay soundbar I reviewed recently. It's very slim, and it has a very compact form factor. If space is your biggest concern, if you want something that blends in, you're not a really big fan of how soundbars look, I think this is a phenomenal choice for that. Now, one of the things that they did really well on this compared to the DiePlay is that it's got a matte finish. I think this looks a lot better. It does not attract fingerprints as much, and it's gonna look great in front of your TV. Now, differences from the DiePlay: this is a 31-inch long soundbar. You're gonna get a better stereo separation with this, and like the box said, it has 4 drivers inside, 2 smaller mid-high range drivers, and then 2 bigger bass drivers. Now, there's not gonna be much bass with how tiny of a speaker this is. You're really not buying this for low-end reinforcement. This is gonna be really good for amplifying dialogue in your movies or your TV shows. Now, on the sides, we get very standard 4 buttons here. You've got power, play pause, power, input changing, and plus minus volume, okay? That's gonna be pretty much standard across the board. On this side, there's no buttons. And then on the back, you do have some mounting points, which we do not get mounting hardware, but you can just put a screw or a nail in your wall and then just set that on like that. Now, down on this end, we have our inputs. Let's see if I can get that in the light here. It's going to be upside down, but you can just kind of see they all fit inside of there. It's kind of a weird configuration. Getting your HDMI cable like in the side like that is not the easiest, but it's not the end of the world. Now, USB, aux, optical, and then you got your power and the HDMI ARC. Those are gonna be your options. I think the majority of people are gonna use the HDMI ARC in this day and age, okay? Now, I'm gonna plug this in and we'll do a little bit of a sound test. Now, I'm gonna preface this by saying I'm really not a big fan of sound tests on YouTube for a few reasons, but enough people ask me for them that I like to do it anyway. But just bear in mind that by the time this sound goes through my cheap camera microphone, gets uploaded, edited, processed, exported, compressed on YouTube when I upload it, and then comes out of whatever you're listening through, it's really not gonna give you an idea of how this sounds for real, but you guys want it, so I'm gonna do it. Now, let's show you how it functions. You can see when I power it up, it says off underneath the grill. It's got a little LED display. What's really nice about this is that that display turns off after a few seconds, so it's not gonna light up your room or be bright on constantly, whether you're watching or not watching something. When I power it on, clicking the power button on the side, it speaks to you, so it says Bluetooth.
Connected.
And it connected to my phone because I've connected before. And that display will also go off after a few minutes of being on, which is really nice. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to face the soundbar towards my microphone, okay, which is right here. I'm gonna open up the YouTube audio library and play you a few different styles of music via the Bluetooth while I tell you about the sound quality. So let me just do YouTube audio library. I always start with like an acoustic track. We'll just go with this guy right here. Okay. Now, sound quality. Let's talk about a few different things. Before we actually get to the sound, it's really important to know that this has really solid audio output. The 50 watts, I don't really care about the number, but there's a lot of volume here. If I crank this, let me go to an EDM track or something. And my camera will probably limit it, but there is a ton of volume. This is definitely gonna be louder than your built-in TV speakers, so that's worth knowing, okay? Let's switch up audio genres here. YouTube audio library, let's go to some EDM maybe. I don't know what this, I'm just picking random tracks here. I'm gonna fast forward to like the chorus. And I would give the sound quality a solid, I don't know, 6 or 7 out of 10. It's definitely not the strong point. The strong points with this guy are gonna be the output, the form factor, the design, and the relatively, slim profile. With that being said, the mids and the highs are decent. The mids are a little recessed. The bass, it's not bad, honestly, considering the drivers are probably like 1.5 inches big. But you're really not getting anything below like, I don't know, 80, 100 hertz. Very minimal. Let's do one more track, maybe a rock song. Again, just picking some random tracks here. And this is not kind of the rock I want. Let's try this guy right here. Trying not to get a copyright strike on this channel, because that's happened in the past. Fast forward a little bit. Again, lots of volume. I'm like 50%. It gets super loud. And as you get to the very top end of the volume, you may get a little bit of distortion, but honestly, nothing that the average person would notice. So, in conclusion, with this Evatronic soundbar, I think this is a phenomenal option. If your TV speakers are just too quiet, you can't hear the dialogue when you're watching your favorite Netflix show, this is gonna be awesome. If you're not huge into movies or you don't watch a ton of, Michael Bay explosion-filled things, this is gonna be more than enough for the average person. Of course, you can connect it to Bluetooth and play some music while you're cleaning or something like that. And the construction quality, the matte finish, all looks phenomenal, and it like under 50 bucks, this guy is a steal. So if you wanna grab one of these, I'll include a link down in the description. You can buy through there, support the channel. I would appreciate you for it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.